Greetings, super friends, Jonathan Levy, and stick around because in this video I'm going to talk about why I think our entire conception of vacation, rest, and relaxation is wrong, and a better way that we can go about creating rest and restoration in our lives. Greetings, super friends, Jonathan Levy here, and once again I find myself on a random island in the Mediterranean taking a quick, short vacation, kind of in the middle of the work month. And I have a feeling that a lot of people in my life wonder why it is that I'm always taking these short vacations as opposed to longer vacations. And part of the reason I want to share is that in the last 6 or 8 months I've really had my mindset around vacations and around travel completely change. And the reason why is I was exposed to a really brilliant idea by Dan Sullivan, the founder of Strategic Coach, who teaches something that he calls the entrepreneurial time system, that I think is still very relevant for people, even if they are not entrepreneurs. Now, what Sullivan kind of explains is that for the average person, we work until we build up a certain level of stress or exhaustion, and then we switch over into vacation mode to try and recharge our batteries. And I really think that's wrong. And Dan Sullivan explains that that's wrong. And the reason for that is because creativity is this renewable resource, and energy is this renewable resource. And so Sullivan explains that instead we should flip this on its head, that we should rest to charge up our batteries, then work, and then rest again. See, in the entrepreneurial time system, Dan Sullivan breaks our time into free days, buffer days, and focus days. And he switches around the entire idea of when a free day or a vacation day should be taken. You see, in the normal paradigm, we think that you should work yourself to the bone, essentially, and then go ahead and take a vacation when you need to recharge your batteries. And I really like how Dan Sullivan flips this on its head. He says that essentially what you actually should be doing is taking rest, taking vacation to the point where you build up so much creative energy that you want to go ahead and go out and create. And so it's this entirely different way of looking at vacation. It's not about recharging your depleted batteries. It's about building up creative energy, building up rest so that you have that preparation. And when you do this, you change from taking rest only when you need it to taking rest preemptively, to vacationing preemptively, to completely disconnecting, because that's what allows you to create, allows you to focus, and allows you to maintain motivation and energy. So recently I've really started doing this. I've not only been traveling more, but also when I do take time off, even if it is in my city, at home, I make sure that my free days are really free. And that means no checking email, no checking in with the office, no reading work-related books or documents, but really disconnecting and allowing my downtime to be truly restorative and truly replenishing. I think this is a really, really interesting idea. Work-life balance isn't a real thing anymore because there's more of a work-life integration. We can all work at any time from anywhere, and that's a great thing if you want to be mobile and you want to work remotely and you want to be free or nomadic. But it's also a terrible thing for our ability to rest and disconnect. When was the last time you really took time off without checking in with the office, without thinking about work, without worrying about work? And then ask yourself, how restorative was that time really? How much energy did you generate? Because I find, and I've seen this with a lot of folks that are in a lot of my masterminds, such as Genius Network, that if you really take time away, completely disconnect, completely change your thought patterns, completely change everything, you actually come back with this revitalized energy. You come back with fresh ideas. You come back with fresh motivation that you wouldn't have had if you were only taking 2 weeks a year vacation at the end of the year after you've already depleted yourself. So I think this is a really interesting idea, and Sullivan has this brilliant suggestion, which is as you see your creativity and motivation start to deplete, don't tough it out, but actually take time right then and there to schedule in free days and nip that in the bud. So I've been playing around with this idea quite a bit recently. I really have been enjoying it, And I encourage people to check out not only this, but many of Dan Sullivan and Strategic Coach's other ideas, because he has a very different way of looking at the world and looking at life and solving the everyday problems that we face, particularly as entrepreneurs. And it's just been phenomenal for me. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you spend some time really disconnected and really enjoying freedom and vacation, and not just having these sorts of when you need it or semi-disconnected vacations, because they're just not cutting it, at least not for me.